Welcome to our quick introduction to dynamic governance. I'm Tracy Kunkler and this is Michelle Smith, and we are co-founders of the Dynamic Governance Institute here in Asheville, North Carolina.
There are two short videos in this series. This is the second video. We'll tell you how the elements of dynamic governance help achieve the remarkable results we've seen time and again in all kinds of organizations, networks, businesses, and groups. Groups can implement these elements in bite-sized pieces or as a whole. Even a taste of dynamic governance can help a group move forward and become more effective together.
The basis of dynamic governance is self-organizing circles. Self-organizing occurs everywhere in nature, in complex adaptive systems, like flocks of birds or schools of fish, solar systems, or even the neurons of your brain when they create thoughts. An elegant coordination emerges out of the interactions between individuals, each following a few simple rules of engagement. So the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. There are a lot of examples of self-organizing in nature. Even crystals form through self-organizing patterns. Imagine if our organizations could be this elegantly coordinated and this responsive to changes in the environment.
Dynamic governance creates the conditions for self-organizing to happen in every circle. It provides the simple rules of engagement in a practical, step-by-step process that allows that elegant coordination to emerge. These conditions include equivalence of participation by offering everyone the floor equally in rounds. Tools for transparency give every member access to the same information. And every circle member has consent in the integrative decision-making process. All the people involved in the work have a say in how the work gets done.
Another condition for self-organizing circles is a clear and shared purpose. We call this clear shared purpose the vision, mission, and aim. The aim defines specifically what the circle will produce and helps keep the process on track. A circle's aim is measurable.
Self-organizing circles become efficient, responsive, creative, accountable, and continually improving.
Circles measure their results to enhance accountability and to allow for continuous improvement.
Circles use integrative decision-making. Integrative decision-making allows solutions to emerge that are within everyone's range of tolerance and that everyone can live with.
It's hard to imagine because usually in decision making we are trying to get people to agree. So when a proposed solution is outside the range of tolerance of one of the members, typically we try to persuade that person to see it our way, especially if we really like the idea. This does not always work. If it's an important issue, either we end up in frustrating debate or that person decides it's not worth it to argue. In either of these cases, we lose important information, we damage our ability to trust each other, and we undermine our relationships. When groups follow the dynamic governance step-by-step process for making decisions, we create a profound paradigm shift. So we know that in systems, very small elements can have very profound effects on the system. So instead of trying to get past the objections, in dynamic governance, we're inviting them because we understand that those objections and concerns, even if we don't see them ourselves, and sometimes we don't because we all have blind spots, we understand that those are parts of the systems that are speaking about potential problems and issues. So we invite them to understand them.
We stop trying to convince people to see things our way, which they probably never will, and we listen to them. Once the concern is understood, humans have an incredible creative problem-solving capacity to find the new solution that addresses the concern and that everyone can live with. And it makes for a better solution. Some people may love the idea, and some people are just okay with it. Sometimes it just means that everyone is willing to try a solution to see if it works. This keeps the group moving forward, and as they gather feedback and data, they're continuously improving.
This is such a new practice for most groups that it's hard for us to imagine that this could really work. That's why it's so valuable to have a step-by-step process to follow and let the process do what it's designed to do.
Leadership emerges within the circles and is developed at every level of the organization or network. Two key leadership roles that every circle will have include a facilitator and a secretary.
Once an organization has more than one circle, these multiple circles connect in structures for cooperation.
Most people only know of two choices for organizational structures, either hierarchical top-down structures or a flat structure with no hierarchy.
For different reasons, neither of these structures is sufficient for steering organizations through the complexity that now exists in our world. We need a new method that can handle complexity and integrate diversity while achieving a high level of performance and efficiency.
Dynamic governance uses a circular hierarchy. Everyone who does the work has a say in how the work gets done.
When we make decisions about how we do the work, like policies and procedures, we meet in circles where everyone has a voice. Then people return to their operational roles to implement those decisions within the organizational chart.
There are still people in charge of implementing the decisions, and those people are responsive to the circle.
The dynamic governance structure allows for communication and cooperation both up and down and across the organization so that no voice is ignored.
Organizational leaders get the benefit of the wisdom present at all levels of the organization, while people at every level have a voice in the decisions that affect them.
This works within organizations really well, but it also works great for connecting networks of organizations, especially because they need accountability and equivalence of power among the organizations.
The methods and tools of dynamic governance can be learned and implemented in pieces.
An organization can try integrative decision-making on a single issue to get a taste of how dynamic governance might make a difference.
Many groups choose to learn integrative decision-making over the course of several meetings or during a half-day retreat on work they're already tackling.
Businesses, organizations, and networks can send participants to our ongoing training modules designed to train people in these methods and supply them with the bite-sized tools to begin using dynamic governance wherever they are. And of course, for those who are ready to make the shift to a new paradigm in their whole organization, the Dynamic Governance Institute can support you with customized training and implementation planning.
We've seen remarkable results time and again as businesses, organizations, and networks use dynamic governance. So if you're ready to become more effective together, contact us, Tracy Kunkler or Michelle Smith at dynamicgovernanceinstitute.com.